Here in Las Vegas. Summer sizzle outside. We hope to get a lot of it inside the ring here at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. We're live here on Fight Night, and our main event is next here on Versus. Taya Fildsa hasn't lost it over 6 years. Domonic Jenkins, to many, the opponent, a lot of guys, a lot of prospects don't want to face. 10 rounds, as I always like to say, or less, because these guys are heavyweights and they can punch. Start with Taya Fildsa. We mentioned, Wally, well, you take a look when we look at tail of the tape. Anybody gets a look at this guy at 6'8", you'd say, hey, he had to play another sport before this.
Well, yeah, I mean, clearly he played some basketball, but he loves to fight. That's why he's here. He's 6 feet 9 inches tall. We told you that. To make things worse, he's a lefty. All right, so if you didn't have enough reason not to fight him because of his size, the other reason is he's a southpaw, which, never been real popular in the heavyweight division. And there you see that he's a busy guy, a bit unschooled. He's pretty raw. We had him against Kendrick Relaford back in January. They went the distance. Taya Fildsa threw a lot of punches, worked hard, was not overly impressive. Now, we expect him to show us a little bit more tonight against Domonic Jenkins, who's a short-term opponent. As we know, we only found out about it on Monday. But he's 6'5". He's a big guy. He's not intimidated at all by the size of Taya Fildsa. He's a full-time barber back home, but he also says he's very, very serious about his boxing career, and he knows that if he knocks off Taya Fildsa tonight, suddenly, people are talking about Domonic Jenkins in the heavyweight division. There he is, ready for his moment.
Well, again, with Jenkins, when we talk about a guy, a full-time barber, and I guess he shaved for this one, it tends to say how serious can he be. He did start late, but he's had some impressive wins. He's knocked off prospects. He could really punch. And he was in training. He was training a guy who lost last Friday night at a fight I called. And so he was in training up to 2 weeks ago in terms of sparring and such. So it's not as if he got caught completely cold. But, hey, he would have liked another week or two, I'm sure, to prepare for Taya Fildsa. Because Taya Fildsa' work rate, as you touched on, Wally, he is extremely busy, and that may be his most effective trait, that he never stops punching.
Yeah, that's the incongruous thing about him. I mean, as big as he is, and he's no speed demon. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. He's not fast, but he is busy. He does throw a lot of punches. He does force his opponents to work at a rate that heavyweights generally don't like to work at, don't have to work at. So if there is a big attribute that Taya Fildsa has, it's the work rate more than anything.
Well, Taya Fildsa was born in Montana, lived in Oregon, but he lives here in Vegas. You can hear the crowd. A lot of people out here to root for him. We'll be back to see him in action after this. Welcome back, everybody. Nick Charles with Wally Matthews ringside here at the Hard Rock Casino as we get ready for main event. Taya Fildsa, Domonic Jenkins. Fildsa has been around a while. They both had late starts as pros. Look at the height advantage. The height advantage.
Yeah, and you know what? This is the slimmed down Taya Fildsa. When he fought for us in January, he was 270. So this is the sleeker version. We'll get a look at the rules now. You can see he also has a little bit of a reach advantage as well. No 3 knockdown rule, no standing 8 count. Only the referee can stop the fight, and neither fighter can be saved by the bell in any round.
And we are about ready to go. Taya Fildsa, Domonic Jenkins, our Pizza Hut fighter introductions now as we go to ring announcer Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino of Las Vegas, Bob Arum's Top Rank Boxing is proud to present Fight Night on Versus, main event of the evening, sponsored by Pizza Hut, America's favorite pizza. This contest is 10 rounds of boxing in the heavyweight division, sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. At ringside, the 3 judges scoring this bout will be Bill Graham, Patricia Marsh-Jarman, and Jerry Roth. And inside the ring, the man in charge of the action, referee Jay Nady. And now, for the thousands in attendance here at the Hard Rock of Las Vegas and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black with gold, official weight 211 pounds. 12 victories in his professional career, including 6 knockouts, 6 defeats, and 2 bouts even. originally from La Mesa, Texas, now fighting and training out of Big D, Dallas, Texas, here's Domonic, the spoiler, Jenkins. Across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing red, white, and blue, official weight 257 pounds. An outstanding professional record, 37 victories, including 33 knockouts, only 1 defeat. He's originally from Missoula, Montana, now training out of Las Vegas, Nevada, former USBA heavyweight champion, Big Sky Taya Fildsa.
Hey, get even more involved right now. Get online and
Obey
score
my
this
commands.
fight. It's unofficial, of
I won't be able
course,
to see
but
your
we'd love
belly
to
button.
see the
Can
way
you
you
bring
have a
those down for me?
10-point must system, as we just explained.
will go
10
down.
points to the round winner,
All right,
and
thank you.
9 or less to the
questions?
round loser. As we look at
Good
Jay
luck, guys.
Nady.
Touch gloves. Let's go to work.
Hey, I got a question. Who weighs the most in the ring? Is it Nady or is it Ty Fields?
Nady's a big man. That's
Yeah.
why they use him for heavyweights.
Exactly. He does a great job here in Nevada. Ready to go. Ty Fields living in Las Vegas. Jesse Reed in his corner has trained multiple world champions. Domonic Jenkins took the fight on short notice, as we said, was in training. Neither guy with much of an no amateur experience from Fields. Both got late starts in boxing. Fields 32 and Jenkins 34. But Wally, that's not old for a heavyweight, is it?
No, especially not, with the heavyweight division as we have it now. There's a lot of opportunity out there. I mean, to me, the biggest, the most striking difference here is not the height difference, but the weight difference.
Yeah.
Nick, you take a look, I mean, there's a 46-pound difference between the two of them. And Domonic Jenkins at 211 pounds, it's pretty small.
Yeah. He's got a real dilemma here because he's got to get past that jab. He's got to get around it. He's got to avoid it, and he's got to get inside. But he didn't want to stay there with Fields. He's just got to fight quick.
Yeah, well, this is going to be on-the-job training as well for Domonic Jenkins, because as he told us today, he's never fought a southpaw. He has a sparring partner who's a southpaw. It's about as close as he's come to it. Yeah, and you usually do well with your own sparring partners.
Right, a lot of guys abandon the jab against the lefty, and that's the tendency. Look at Ty Fields dialing in. His work rate is tremendous, as we've said, for a heavyweight. Wants to break the record for punches by a heavyweight in a fight, certainly in a round.
Well, that's a nice goal, but you'd like to see him land one big knockout punch.
That's fighter, boxing fans, Wally, they want to see big guys knock people out.
Absolutely. Nobody's counting out there.
Jenkins not really dialing in. He's in the black. There he goes to the body and then begins to cover up. So he could get caught in no man's land there. That 83-inch reach by Fields could be lethal. And Fields could really get a lot done outside, keep him at the end of the jab.
Jenkins does not look at all comfortable in the ring.
He doesn't
right now.
Jenkins has some good victories. He's beaten some prospects, as we've said. He KO'd promising young Puerto Rican Victor Bisbal. And TKO'd then unleashed Carlos Bennett. His 6 losses, though, Wally. I'm not a big stat guy. And here, Fields begins to open up.
Way down below. I know your head's down, but it was low.
Yep, they're worried about low blows now. Jay Nady warning Jenkins. Jenkins runs into a left hand.
Jenkins also snuck in a right hand, which didn't really get all that much reaction from Ty Fields, but there's the same punch.
Oh, there's that right hand. Again,
with it 3 times now.
Jenkins could hit. He could crack. And the guys he lost to, his 6 losses, they're 74, 2, and 3 combined, Wally. He hasn't lost to any dogs here. So I don't want to count this guy out by any means. He doesn't look comfortable, but he could be a very viable opponent here. Good first round for Ty Fields, though, as we close it out in Vegas. Jesse Reed in the corner of Ty Fields basically thinks that Fields did a pretty darn good job, and you would have to agree he dominated that fight, that first round against
no
Jenkins.
doubt he won the
Jenkins
round.
not loose at all. He had his moments with the right hand. There he's trying to come in behind the jab with it, but jab in the face by Fields. Fields really got to show a little bit of a power jab. Now he goes orthodox. Boy, that's something new out of him. He's a natural left-hander.
I don't see why he would do that. I mean, everything's gone his way so far, unless this is his way of not getting hit with that right hand again.
Well, on the switch then, Jenkins maybe should start jabbing. This would be more comfortable for him. If he's going to show a jab, now's the time to do it. But Jenkins elects to back up and raise the ropes, waiting to just take shots and maybe counter. He's really not making the play here, and he's got to do a better job. He's very cautious against this big man, there's no doubt.
Well, yeah, but watching Taya Fildsa, Nick, it's almost like you're watching a work in progress, even an experiment. You like kind of watching somebody in dancing class who's still looking at the little footprints on the ground. It's like he's not quite sure of which moves to do, you know, what to do, which way to stand. And, you know, at 30, this is his 39th fight. He's 32 years old. He's still got a long way to go.
Oh, there's no question about that. It's odd to see him go conventional here. He's orthodox stance. A lot of arm shots there. Now he tries to get a hook in there, and now he'll go back to the southpaw. And it's Jenkins just not really baiting him in, but looking like he doesn't want to fight here in the second round.
I mean, Jenkins is, quite frankly, you know, allowing Taya Fildsa to do whatever he wants. Right now, Taya Fildsa could stand on his head and kick him, and I don't think Jenkins would know the difference. He's doing nothing offensively at all.
Well, clubbing left hand, and Jenkins at least should be moving to the left, away from that left-handed power, but he's standing there squared up against the ropes and now trying to fight inside and getting the worst of it.
But you know what? He backed Taya Fildsa off with that right uppercut. If I were Jenkins, I would be firing that right hand because he cannot seem to miss with it when he lets it go.
Yeah, he's got
a good left hook to the body.
Yeah, get closer in there and fight a little quicker. Maybe get out and don't let this guy load up on you. I'd like to see Fildsa again shorten up inside. You know, he says it's natural and uses, try to keep that punch speed going inside, like right here.
I'm sorry, but Dominic Jenkins' effort right now is just inexplicable because he's had some success, you know, by throwing that right hand. He's been able to hit Taya Fildsa to the body, but you can't win a fight if you don't try to win the fight.
Exactly, and he's just covering up right now. Nothing coming back. Fildsa having his way. Free shot after free shot, digging with a left hook, or I should say a left cross, and off balance is Jenkins. Everything good I said about Dominic Jenkins, I'm throwing out the window while he based on this.
Go back to, you know, our original thought with him. He only took the fight on Monday. Says he was training, but, you know, he doesn't look completely ready for this fight. Doesn't really look like he's really into the fight.
Let's hear if Al Smith can wake him up.
Give him a little shot. See you going to the ropes and you let him take a shot.
We'll knock him out, all right? You look real good, son. Now watch it when you get close that you have your legs under you so you don't get hit with that overhand right. I don't want you to get in touch with that. Show these goddamn people you're not getting hit with that right hand, all right? And start waving them hands and play games with him a little bit. I like the way you're looking.
By the way, Fildsa is taller on the stool than Jesse Reed is standing up. Here's some of what Fildsa did in that round. He basically do just whatever he wants here because he knows there's nothing coming back the other way. And they did use the word that you're never supposed to use in the corner. Over in Jenkins' corner, he was asked, "Are you tired?"
I'll play along with that, yeah.
Don't plant that in his mind. No, you're not tired.
Jenkins got to wake up here. He's in the black. He's in the black, I should say. And not looking very good. Taya Fildsa with the 3 shots. Left hand sinks the right hook to the body. Fildsa squared up. He sort of gives up some height there, but he's trying to buy some leverage.
Yeah, he doesn't fight to the full 6'9", but, you know, I think when you are 6'9", you can afford to give up an inch or two.
Fildsa trying to walk Jenkins down. Jenkins in retreat, looking to pick off that jab, but he's not moving away from that potentially powerful left hand there, and he pays the price.
Yeah, but, you know, Taya Fildsa winds up with that left hand, especially to the body, and if Jenkins wanted to, he could let that right hand go again and again and land it.
Well, he's getting beaten to the punch because he's simply not punching Jenkins.
You know, at some point, Jane 80 is going to have to step in there and ask Jenkins if he wants to go or not, because, You know, he's doing very little to retaliate.
Yeah, he's looking to really land that shot out of nowhere, the right hand. There's the jab a little bit. But on the ropes, not the place to be for him. He's going to absorb more shots here as Field's could take that half step back and load up and find his range and get full extension on those shots.
Now, in defense of Taya Fildsa, let's just mention that this is the third opponent. At first, he was going to fight Cali Meehan, who just never signed for the fight. Then he was going to fight Cedric Boswell, who injured himself in training.
Well, a boxer would have been a tough fight for him, and Boswell could do that.
Yeah, so I mean, like, it's not like, you know, this is the guy that they've wanted to fight all along. This is kind of, you know, a replacement opponent. So we don't blame Taya Fildsa for Domonic Jenkins is showing you.
Well, he has taken the fight quickly out of Domonic Jenkins, if he ever had any. All right, Field's now again goes orthodox. Now his back southpaw. Field's trying to just corner Jenkins, and now he's got him cornered. They rips through with that left hand. Retreats, looking to get the extension on those shots. And then, you know, on the switch, he's trying to catch Jenkins on the switch. So it's not a bad move for him because he comes in punching.
Yeah, but Nick, it's like batting practice, all right? When they're letting you do what you want to do, you know, of course you're going to look all right. I'm really frustrated by the fact that Domonic Jenkins is not letting that right hand go.
End of 3 here in Las Vegas. Join us August 30th for our next live fight night here on Versus. We'll be in Houston, Texas to see a battle for the vacant NABF championship. Miguel Angel Huerta, who really impressed us in Versus in June. His chance to claim the lightweight belt. He's got to get past tough Efren Hinojosa. Circle the date, August 30th, fight night from Houston, live on Versus.
Looking forward to that, man. If you recall, he was a victim of a horrible decision that went to Kid Diamond that we did here on Versus in June. And
I'm glad he's getting a second chance. He really earned it. Won that fight, in our opinion.
Absolutely.
Domonic Jenkins looked pooped. He really looked tired there. And Joe, that was a low blow. Left hand way low.
He's got himself 5 minutes rest.
Yes, he does.
Now,
and I would take it. They never do, Wally, but I would take it. Nope, here comes Jenkins out. That's the worst mistake he's made tonight.
I must say, I don't understand anything Domonic Jenkins has done tonight, but least of all that.
It's almost as if he's looking for a place to fall next to one good shot. He just hasn't been in this fight. No fighting heart, no spirit, no nothing.
But here's why I'm getting upset. You can't see it at home, but I'm gesturing with my arms and I'm tearing the last of my hair out. Because clearly, when Domonic Jenkins lets his hands go, he finds Taya Fildsa. Why he doesn't do more of it, I don't know. You know, and it's not like he didn't have success in the first round with that right hand.
Then it brings us to the point. What's going on as we look at online scoring? Easily Fields' way. And so what's wrong with Taya Fildsa' defense if he's so open?
Well, you see that he punches from down around his waist. I mean, it's not a mystery. You know, Taya Fildsa drops his hands. Look at where that left hand is right now. You know, he goes back and forth. He windmills with his arms. There's always something open. There's always a hole in Taya Fildsa' defense if somebody wants to exploit it. And for whatever his reasons are, Domonic Jenkins is not doing it. And you know what? He may be tired now, but what was his reason in the second round?
Yeah. Well, Fields actually able to pick his shots. That left hand landed to the head. His work rate we thought has been incredible for a heavyweight. He's been able to pick his shots and be more selective because nothing, as you said, is coming back. Jay Nady's starting to take a closer look to see if there's much fight left in Domonic Jenkins.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Jenkins clearly is not hurt. He's just, he's just not here. See, there's the right hand. Just by accident he hit him. I would try that again.
It's a shame because he really can't hit.
He chooses not to.
But I can talk about it all I want. Who's going to believe it?
Jay's going to replace the mouthpiece, so Domonic Jenkins gets a few seconds of rest.
You okay? You all right?
Yeah.
All right. Time in.
All right, Fields just walking in. selective shots. Why not? There's a left hook from Jenkins. He's just trying to get lucky with one punch. Fourth round closing out. Big left hand from Fields.
Ty Fields has tougher workouts on the heavy bag.
Well, exactly. It's a sparring session. It's a bad sparring session. There comes Jenkins now warming up a little bit. Round 5 here in Las Vegas. You see Ty Fields hasn't lost in over 6 years. Coming out, having his way throughout this fight against Domonic Jenkins, simply because Jenkins won't fight much.
I got to say, I love Jesse Reed in the corner. He's a positive presence, and I mean it. He always finds something nice to say about the fighter.
Oh, he's a tremendous trainer.
And when you go through the history of the guys that he's had in front of him, you know, he's been with Camacho, with Mike Tyson. I mean, he's had some difficult customers in there.
Yeah.
Ty Fields not a particularly difficult customer. Doesn't seem to be anyway.
Well, he needs to learn too. You know, and Fields, 8-year pro, and as you said, still learning. So he needs to get his game down, unless he is what he is. But little mistakes. They're talking about squaring up and losing a lot
the same
of leverage.
way, you know, here when we take a look at the CompuBox, the numbers here, and again, all Ty Fields. But I mean, the same way we were saying, let's look at Josh Clottey. Think about him with a Miguel Cotto in the ring with him tonight, with a Floyd Mayweather. Let's think about Ty Fields with Klitschko in the ring against him.
Let's not even go there. Let's start with some of these. Let's start with the guys maybe not a lot of people have seen, but Chris Arreola.
Now you know they're talking. That's a good point. But you know who they're talking about next, Hasim Rahman.
Well, everybody wants him as the player because they want to get into the top 10, and it really speaks to this division, Wally, so wide open that 1 or 2 big fights and you're in title contention.
That's absolutely true, but what I would say is as bad as I thought Hasim Rahman looked when he fought for us in June, I don't think Ty Fields is ready for him.
That's another world at this point.
You're not kidding.
But again, back to some of the prospects. Like to see him fight an Eddie Chambers or a guy like that, or Travis Walker, Chris Arreola.
And the funny thing is, you know, Jenkins has already fought Eddie Chambers. So, you know, Ty Fields being brought along very, very slowly.
Yeah, it's time to start moving.
See, that's some decent work there by Ty Fields. Decent one, too. But then, once again, he lapses into dropping the hands. You see where his hands are, down around his waist. And, you know, you have to think if Domonic Jenkins wanted to exploit that, he could.
I'm with you. Nothing coming back from Domonic Jenkins.
I'm frankly surprised that Jay Nady, you know, hasn't told Jenkins, pick it up or I'm going to stop the fight.
Well, he very well may have in the corner sometime between rounds. But, yeah, we haven't picked it up. So it's a sparring session for Ty Fields as we close out round 5.
Well, it's been a one-man show so far, Nick, and that man is Ty Fields. You see some of the action here. It's all Ty Fields. The problem is, good boxing takes 2 guys.
And Wally, as we hit the second half of this fight, you know, you have to start thinking Domonic Jenkins, he's been stopped. He's on a roll. He's won 3 straight, but he was stopped in 5 by Eddie Chambers, sort of a light puncher. Went the distance with Tora Sykes, and the loss was KO'd by Chris Arreola. And
but
you have to start measuring Fields, is what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
When is Fields? How great a whack does he have? Can he get this guy out of here? And should he?
That's my question to you as well. I mean, you talked about Ty Fields should be fighting the Areolas. He should be fighting the Eddie Chambers. Domonic Jenkins has already fought these guys. You know, what's taking Ty Fields so long?
Right. No, it's got to happen here, and you hope it will. You want to see what you have and how much upside potential is in Ty Fields. He's orthodox right now. And it'll be interesting to see if Jesse Reed, he's been with him long enough, see if he could find and elevate another notch to Fields' game. Field walked into a shot there. And, you know, Jenkins has had those few and far between right hands. He's had 1 left hook, I think, that landed. He's certainly in single digits with effective punches tonight. But if he would punch more, it's the only chance he's got. He's not doing anything except retreating again.
Well, all I can tell you is this. Domonic Jenkins is in shape. He's 211 pounds. He's a lot lighter than he was in his previous fight. I mean, the guy has been training, and his work rate has not been such that he should be fatigued. So, you know, the explanation, only he knows. Well, he's the only one who knows why he's punching, you know, so sporadically. Why he's not trying more, you know, those right hands that scored in the first round. He weighed 218 for his last fight in April. He's 211 tonight. So obviously, he's pretty trimmed down here. You can see he's in shape. That's not a problem.
And it's not as if he's learning. Fields comes in very squared. He's hittable, as you said. His hands are low. And Jenkins has not beaten him to the punch once.
Now he's basically, Taya Fildsa is begging his opponent to hit him. And so far, Domonic Jenkins is ignoring those pleas. He's pleading, hit me.
I'm going to start pleading for some two-way action here.
I think your pleas will fall on deaf ears.
Jenkins needs a wake-up call. And Taya Fildsa is picking his shots, punching when he wants, look, resting, resetting when he wants. Half minute to go in the 6th round. And here we see Jenkins finally getting ahead of steam, up missing with shots, but at least trying.
I would say Jenkins was ready to quit, but in order to quit, you would have had to start.
Fields bangs a big right, partially blocked. We see how heavy those shots are or not. It's hard to judge that. Jenkins isn't going anywhere. He's backing up.
Well, no doubt there's weight behind those punches from Taya Fildsa. I mean, he's 257 pounds, but he doesn't have a lot of snap. And, you know, if you look at the record, it does not seem to be a big knockout puncher. Yeah. Let's see if Jenkins has any inclination to come back out.
What kind of inspiration Al Smith could give him here, or instruction?
Get his hand over the bucket. Get your little shot. How you feeling?
Breathe, blow it out. Suck it in, blow it out. Suck it in and blow it out.
Do it again.
There you go.
I don't think he answered the question.
Well, I mean, there's been no advice, you know.
They asked him how he was doing.
Get some water. How do you feel? J80 looking at both fighters, not ready to stop this.
I don't think he can stop it. Really.
No, there's no need. He's not in a position to
He's
stop
yawning. He just yawned.
Hey, that's not good.
That I've never seen. I've never seen the referee yawn in the middle of a
I hope the
fight.
viewers missed it. Because he's going to set a dangerous precedent.
Wow. Boy. But, you know, the one thing that J80 could have done, and I'll ask him, you know, if we get a chance later why he didn't, is just go to Jenkins' corner and say, hey, are you going to fight or not? If you're not going to fight, I'll send you home.
Well, maybe he started to say that from a distance, so we misinterpreted it.
Maybe he wasn't really yawning. Yeah, maybe he was saying that.
I'm trying to sell this. It's hard. It's the 7th round, and it's a sparring session for Taya Fildsa in the American flag colors.
You know, give Fields credit for this. You know, he's continuing to do what he does, even though he's getting no cooperation from the other guy. You do need some help from the other guy.
Wally, you know, the one thing, even when there's two-way action, something coming back, I like Fields' condition in fights I've seen him, and he fights as hard in the last round as in the first. He's really got a good work rate.
He told us today that he's actually run marathons, which is, you know, an incredible accomplishment for a man that big. But he clearly, you know, has no problem staying in shape. He's a fitness fanatic. So, you know, the work rate is all part of that. But also, mentally, he's staying in the fight, even though he's shadow boxing tonight.
Boy, his hands are low. It's just, you want to see Jenkins throw that right hand. And right there, it's there. But he can't get it out of his pocket, or won't. Taya Fildsa, to back up a little bit, he played power forward at San Diego State. Oral Roberts, no amateur experience, turned pro. First year in the gym.
Getting plenty of amateur experience tonight. There's the online poll, and
what a surprise!
Somebody gave Jenkins a round, right?
Maybe Jenkins is scoring online.
Oh yeah, the 4th round.
Jenkins might have his computer in the corner. And not to disparage, but hey, listen, it takes guts, but you want to see a guy come to fight.
Absolutely.
And I thought Jenkins, one of my notes on him, the guy always comes to fight. He's tough and he's game, but he's just absorbing shots here.
Well, that's the point, though. Once you sign the contract and you agree to come here and fight, you're expected to do that for your 10 rounds. You know, you signed for a 10-round heavyweight fight. Give us 10 rounds.
Well, it's pretty apparent now that, I mean, I was overestimating him in terms of he just has this I'm an opponent mentality, and he's not here to win. You're right. And with a 12-6-2 record, you know, he was no ball of fire going in, but he gave some guys hell in the ring. But tonight, it's been hellish to watch him.
The thing is, there are a lot of holes in Taya Fildsa, and even a 12-6-2 guy could exploit those holes, even if he can't win the fight. And, you know, Taya Fildsa is not getting the benefit of this either, because he's not learning anything here tonight. He knows as much about himself now as he did before the fight started.
That's a good point. And Jenkins won't go away. Well, we're back here. We said that Domonic Jenkins was still around. He isn't anymore. He pulled the plug on himself. He doesn't want to get off the stool and fight anymore. And you know what? I'm glad, Wally.
That's fine. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're not going to make an effort, you're only going to get hurt in there. And I must give Taya Fildsa credit for this. He somehow kept his interest in the fight and kept fighting all the way, even though, you know, he had no dance partner in there. He kept dancing to the end, and for that, we give him some credit. But certainly, no favor done him by Domonic Jenkins.
No, Domonic Jenkins was a competitive fighter. He wasn't for a moment tonight. Not a threat to Taya Fildsa.
And you know, I said that.
Towel, man, towel. Can't get into him. I'll take it like that any day.
He's not yelling for a rematch, I hope.
No, he's not. He's not yelling for an 8th round either. I was going to say that Taya Fildsa knows no more about himself. We don't know any more about Taya Fildsa than we did before the fight started.
Absolutely.
We know he's big. We know he's busy.
It's a parallel move because it was a sparring session for him. So the crowd here loves it. Fildsa lives in Las Vegas. He moves to 38-1, 1-no decision. And Michael Buffer will make this one official now.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 7 rounds, the corner of Domonic Jenkins indicated to referee Jay Nady they could no longer continue. Jay Nady calls a halt to the bout. The winner by TKO victory, Big Sky, Taya Fildsa.
So Taya Fildsa wins again. 38 out of 40 fights he's won. This is another stoppage, 34 KOs. He hasn't lost in over 6.5 years. He avenged that loss quickly, his only loss. But again, in terms of the learning process and the learning curve, where is Taya Fildsa after this one? Wally's going to talk to him when we come back. Stay with us. It's Fight Night on Versus. We're live at the Hard Rock. And Taya Fildsa has just won again. The towering heavyweight takes care of business as Domonic Jenkins quits on his stool after 7. We see thrown and landed punches there. The average, how could Domonic Jenkins possibly stay in this fight unless he hit like Mike Tyson in his prime and landed, because he never put himself in a position to win this fight. Punching averages, as we mentioned, these are punching averages. So this is per round, of course, not the entire fight. As Jenkins never in it, Taya Fildsa has his way, and he's with Wally Matthews now.
All right, Nick, I'm going to do my Statue of Liberty imitation here and interview Taya Fildsa. Taya, I know you're happy with the victory tonight, but you didn't get a lot of cooperation out of Jenkins, did you? Were you surprised that he didn't put up more of a fight?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank Versus and my mom, my dad, Mike, Emma, Jennifer, Tad, my Amy, Megan, Tetscale, and I also like to say, you know, he came to fight. I knew he would. Domonic is known for coming in. He's beaten 5 undefeated fighters before he came to fight me, and I knew he was coming to fight. The thing is I came in great shape. Came in at 257. My last fight, I was 270. So I really worked on the diet, the eating, and you know, next time I fight, I'm going to come in better shape than this time.
So do you think you discouraged him in the fight? Is that what happened?
You know, I mean, the guy, his corner didn't let him continue. You know, there's the jab can discourage a lot of people, and I think that's what I threw a lot of was the jab. And you know, I'm gonna improve that, sharpen it, make it better for the next time, so that it becomes more of a presence than it was this time.
All right, Taya Fildsa happy with his win over Domonic Jenkins. Back to Nick.
Well, work to be done, and that's the way it should be. We want to see him step up against better opposition next time. That's our main event, but we're back with more boxing right after this.